Good afternoon. Welcome to the Batman Show featuring Sir Ian and Eric Woods and myself. How is everyone today? Ian, take it away.
Just peachy.
Peachy. Okay. Sounds very summery.
Well, it's been raining today. It's at the moment 14 degrees, like we just discussed. It's going to get up to 21 later in the week, and it'll be snowing next week. That's Scotland.
Okay.
Wait, what did you just say?
It's going to be snowing?
I lied about the snow.
Oh,
but,
okay. Wow, that would suck.
I personally would love some snow right about now, but
really,
it's snowing somewhere.
Yeah, I'd rather be cold than hot.
That's interesting.
I mean, I can't run around naked, because all the women will just go crazy. It's a curse. I have to keep clothes on so the women can control themselves.
Yeah, because all the women are armed there as well, so it's a danger.
They are.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm strapped? I got to protect myself from all the wild ones.
Excellent. It's a good way to start the show.
And Eric, you said you're on vacation. Is it for the entire month next month?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going away. I will be bringing my stuff with me to work, but we're going to Newfoundland to see the house that we bought, and my wife's family is all out in Newfoundland. So we're going for a scheduled 5 weeks. And I'm not sure what I mentioned on the show, but I think if we last 2 weeks, I'll be surprised if we last longer than 2 weeks.
Okay.
But we're driving down there starting on the 30th of June, and we are supposed to come back sometime in early August. And that's my really, really busy time here for video and editing and things of that sort. But I can work on the road, and that's great. So yeah, I was supposed to have vacation time there, but I got sick a couple weeks back, and I had to use all my vacation time that I've gathered for that to pay for that. So I'm kind of like, any day I take off over there is going to be like an unpaid day. So that kind of sucks, but it's gonna be fun. Yeah, we haven't been there in maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So, and this is the first time I'm driving in, geez, how long? Maybe 20 years. So yeah.
How many miles is it from where you're at?
I want to say it's about as far as from here to Florida.
Holy crap.
It's a 3-day trip. I mean, we're only going to drive like 8 hours, but it's a long, and on top of that, we have to take the ferry across at Sydney, Nova Scotia, across to Newfoundland. So we're taking the overnight ferry. So yeah.
Wow.
It's cheaper to do it that way, even with all the inflated gas prices. It's still cheaper than to fly out there. Like, I can fly to Ian for less money than I can fly within my own country to get to St. John's, Newfoundland. It's almost double the price to fly to Newfoundland than it is to get to the UK.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know why, but it is. Although, I mean, we do now have these discount airlines, which are starting to offer, like, bare bones amenities and so cheap flights out there. But if you want to get a regular flight, yeah, that's why we're driving. It's expensive. Like $4,000 or $5,000 just for us to get out there round trip.
Wow. Cool.
So yeah,
I hope you have a fun trip.
I'm sure I will. I can't wait to see the house. I can't wait to see where, I'm eventually going to retire and get to see a new part of Newfoundland that I haven't seen before. And of course, we're going to France. So there's 2 islands that are just south of Newfoundland, St. Pierre and Miquelon, and they belong to France. And so we're going to go visit them, which is going to be fun. I've never been there before, so that'll be interesting.
Well, that's cool. Have fun.
Yeah.
Let's welcome the chat real fast. David Pensack says he can't catch the live stream because he's got to go make money to buy more soundtracks. I feel your pain. Big Al says, have a great show. Retro Reels is in the house saying that we were late, or was he late? Which one was it? Actually, I think we were like a minute late.
Maybe.
Skirwinkle is in the house. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Did you drop a video last night? Retro says enjoyed the video last night. Skirwinkle.
Might have.
And thank you for that link to buy Is it the Screaming Woman? Is that what I bought? I can't read Italian or French or whatever it is, but I bought it. Thank you. It's on its way. What was the foreign film that John Williams did? What was it? The Screaming Woman? Is that what it was?
I'm not sure.
They released a 45 of the theme, and that's all that's ever been released.
You know more than I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. He did a vinyl unboxing video. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's a single from Storia di una Donna, which translates in American to Story of a Woman?
Star Wars. I don't
know. You know what is interesting? Retro Reels uploaded that he uploaded a short video, which was the like a cut up like 17 seconds of the trailer to Predator. It was weird. Like we did the Predator show, and I think he was actually talking about the trailer just being sort of like off. And just by seeing that little bit, it does look off. But it did show the Predator, which is weird. Really weird that it would show that. I mean, for now, I guess for a re-release, you'd show the Predator all the time, but you know, nobody knew what it looked like, or anyway, tonally, it was just so strange.
Retro says he found Last of the Mohicans at Jerry's shop this week. That's a good find. Is it the original or is it the re-recording?
I think we should discuss this in detail.
Oh man, that's good. That's a great find. That's actually a really, really good find.
Do you know what? I troll through my charity shops after seeing you guys buy stuff, you know, really brilliant stuff, and I can't find anything in them. I really can't.
Wow. A friend of mine who has a radio show here in town, Robert Daniels, he also hosts the Obscure Scores show on my channel. We have something called The Beat Goes On. So it's just like a used CD outlet. I think it's across the province, and you can go online and you can see the stock for each store. And he goes through occasionally and just looks through the soundtrack section, and just, you know, there's thousands and thousands of them. But somebody in Hamilton, my former hometown, unloaded a whole pile of soundtracks, a ton. And I'm not talking about, you know, the regulars that you see, but he grabbed, there was tons of Goldsmith and Bernstein. So he grabbed, amongst others, Mazada, which was the Entrada release, Navajo Joe, which I'm thinking is Film Score Monthly, and Von Ryan's Express, amongst other albums. And I'm like, what? Really? Wow. I mean, he finds a ton of great stuff always. When he does like rarity shows for me, I can't believe some of the stuff that he finds, but he just picks up anything and everything that says soundtrack on it, which I think is neat. But yeah, he goes through this thing weekly, and yeah, someone in my old hometown was just offloading score albums, and I wonder who. So yeah, and they go for like $7. They're not like, it's just, they're used. Nobody knows how rare they are, and it's like $7 an album.
$7 for one CD at the thrift store?
At this used outlet. Yeah. So, okay. And like, there's no shipping, there's no nothing. You literally say, I want this album. They ship it from that store over to where you live, and then you go pick it up, and it's $7 for each CD. I mean, for Mazada, I mean, what is that? 3, 4 CDs or 3 CDs, 2 CDs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Around here, like CDs are like $1 and records are $1. And
yeah. So in thrift shops, they are about like $1.99. And like the ones that we have don't have a great selection, but there is another one that I visit rarely that has better selection. And yeah, they're like $1 or $2. But this is a legit like used CD business. They also offer like DVDs and toys and games and things of that sort. So, but yeah, I mean, $7 is, I think, the average price. Sometimes you can get them for cheaper, but yeah, That's not. I mean, $7 for any of those three, I'll take them.
That's true.
The last CD I picked up a few weeks ago now from a charity shop, which is the same thing as a thrift shop, was Apocalypse Now. Which
Like the Entrada release?
No, just the original, which whoever released it in whatever year it was when it first came out on CD.
Do you have the Rejected film score, Ian?
I don't know.
Was that Entrada or was that La La Land? That's David Shire, right?
I think it's David Shire. I don't remember what label. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Eric, have you listened to the Rejected score?
No, I haven't. It's La La Land. I know I have it, but I haven't. I probably should. But I think it's... is it mostly electronic?
Oh, it is.
I don't know.
It's still in stock in La La Land.
Yeah, I don't think that's one that's going to go out of print anytime soon. Much like the Orville. Jeez. They can't give those away.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. Although, you know what? I finally got back into Strange New Worlds, and Nami Melamad is just kicking butt with that series. Some outstanding cues, and the series is really good. I love it. Like if you've missed classic Trek, check out that show. It's really good. It's what the other show should have been. It's not pretentious. They're just fun hour-long stories with great special effects and great acting. I love the captain. I mean, I'm getting the more and more I watch this show, the more in love with the crew I am. They are likable, except for a couple of characters, and for the most part, it's like I'm glad to go on a voyage with them for an hour. I highly recommend checking it out. It's, again, like I said, it's what Trek should have done with Discovery and Picard. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it a lot. They finally got it right. They finally listened. I mean, that's pretty much what this show is, right? It's basically like the fans are like, yeah, we like Pike. We want a show with him. They're like, all right. And we need regular Star Trek again. Let's just do regular Star Trek. And they're like, okay, great. So yeah, Orville and Strange New Worlds, awesome.
I must admit, at the end of was it the second season of Discovery where they introduced Pike in the Enterprise? When they kind of went their own ways, I thought, it's a shame. I would love to have seen more of Pike. And then they announced the new series. I thought perfect. That's just perfect.
But I was just looking for ways for them to screw it up, and they didn't. And yeah, so credit to the writers and directors who are working over there. I give no credit to Alex Kurtzman whatsoever. I think he sucks. And also for them to get Melamad, although I wish that she had a chance to write the main title, because I'm not a fan of Jeff Russo's music. This kind of updated modern take on Alex Courage's music, it doesn't work at all. So, but besides that, yeah, Melamad's kicking butt, and she's going to be, well, she was interviewed by my friend Rob Daniels. He's presenting Star Trek music on his show this Saturday morning, and it'll be turned into a podcast, and he interviewed Nami. So you might want to listen to that. Apparently she's just a very likable and bubbly person. So that's all I got out of Rob. He says you got to listen to the rest of the show. So, which, yeah, good for her.
What's the name of the podcast?
The podcast is Visions and Sound. So right after the show, which is like Saturday morning at 12 a.m., it ends at 2 a.m., but he uploads the podcast version of it immediately after that. So it'll be available Sunday morning. And yeah, I was on it this past week. We were talking about re-recordings. And so he let me bring Vertigo and Close Encounters of the Third Kind along. And that was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, he's a good guy. He's just celebrating 22 years on the air. He is on live radio. Yeah. And I've been on a show many times. And he's a really nice guy. He does a good show too.
Cool. Give that a listen.
Yeah.
that show actually got me thinking. You're talking about re-recordings. I mean, technically, isn't the Fury and Dracula a re-recording?
Fury is. I don't know about Dracula.
Yeah, I'm not sure Dracula is a re-recording.
I think Dracula was recorded with the LSO, and I think the LSO was used in the film. But the Fury is a LA recording in film, much like James Horner's Brainstorm was an LA recording, but the album was LSO. So we've never heard the original tracks to Brainstorm, which I think we are all hoping that Reyes does at some point. So that would be great. That would be awesome. Or Entrada, or La La Land. I don't care who does it.
Jerry Goldsmith did that a lot in the 70s, didn't he? You record the scores in LA and then come to England to re-record them.
Yeah, much cheaper.
Yeah,
much cheaper. What I didn't like is when you get albums of like Tyrus Bulba, holy smokes, they would downsize the orchestra and the orchestration, so it just sounded so tiny compared to what it's actually supposed to sound like. So I wasn't a fan of those, but can't complain. At least you get some music. But yeah. I'm trying to think of what other, like Jaws. Jaws is a re-recording. Well, the original MCA Records album, and that was done at the same time as the recording sessions. E.T. is they recorded a album version during the recording sessions. So what you heard on the original, was that MCA as well? MCA Records album, yeah. It was all concert versions of cues with the exception of Escape, Chase, and Saying Goodbye, or whatever. I think it was called Adventures on Earth. And I think that was an actual film cue. I could be wrong.
Was E.T. the London Symphony?
E.T. was L.A. One of Bruce Botnick's first recordings with John Williams, and he didn't do too many. But that album is probably the best recorded John Williams album of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the expanded. Oh, the 20th anniversary one.
That's the MCA one.
But isn't that the MCA one? Is that expanded?
That's the 20th anniversary one.
Oh, you have a different cover.
So
yeah, because this is. Oh, sit on a pillow. This is the cover to my original.
Oh wow!
And that's the back.
Right. Okay. Well, that's my original one, and that's the back.
Oh wow!
My original one.
Oh, that's totally different. Yeah, because my inside. What's your disc look like? Is it like is it like that?
That's what my disc looks like.
Holy cow!
I'll just straighten it up.
Yeah, and there's my inside of the.
And that's the inside.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I bought this on eBay from somebody along with the Reavers for like $5 a really long time ago.
I must admit, because I like the original album so much, I bought that about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Then it was shortly after I got that, but I wanted the original soundtrack version of it as well.
Yeah, that 20th anniversary one's a bit of a mess.
It is. I mean, it was great. It was great to have the complete score with the end credits and things like that.
But even the end credits is a blown take. Did you hear that? The trumpets come in late on the end credits.
Really? I have to give that another listen.
That's my inside too. What's your inside like?
What's the original MCA one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the original MCA one, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a North American thing. That's the inside of my.
Wow. That's the inside.
Oh, you know what? I have seen that picture disc of ET, and it goes for a pretty sum of money. Like I go to not a flea market. There's a farmer's market here in town. There's a guy who sells LPs, and he displays the ET one on all the time, and it's like $100. But it's beautiful.
Okay, this has got 18 tracks on it.
Yeah, that one is
This is
that's
like
the
the
first
first
expanded
expanded.
edition.
Yeah.
And then
And
there
then
was the 20th, which came with the DVD, which I have way up there.
I've got a
And
35th.
yeah, and then I have that one as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the 35th anniversary. La
And
La
that
Land
has
one.
the original album remastered for the first time
Yeah.
on that version. So yeah, E.T.'s been. I mean, thank God Mike Mendocino did it right, because I think that was Laurent Borizo producing another soundtrack, and he's just so bad at it. So bad at it. So he's Steven Spielberg's documentarian.
He did Close Encounters, is that right?
So he did Close Encounters and he did the first expanded version of Jaws. They're so bad. Oh, and he might not have done the E.T. one. He might have, but then he did the Concorde Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's the person I need to find in a dark alley some night.
Yeah, that's him. Just lazy.
Joking, YouTube. I'm joking. Don't strike me down from above.
He films great documentaries for Spielberg, but he's just a terrible record producer. It's so awful.
Yeah, the 35th anniversary CD is produced by Mike Mendocino and Bruce Botnick.
Yeah.
And you said there's a 20th anniversary?
Yeah.
When the
kind
20th
of like
anniversary
bare bones.
Director's cut came out.
Yeah. So it has like a silver banner at the top that says 20th anniversary. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But then again, I think that one might have a different take of the end credits as well. I do remember, though, the expanded yeah, one of them has a bad blown take. And then they all have like the wrong version of Chase saying goodbye. Yeah. He's been through the grinder.
Not as bad as the first blown take of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, main title.
Was that on the original?
No, they had it on the La La Land 3-disc one.
Oh, right, when he conducts, yes. That's
yeah, they're all out of time and all coming at the wrong time.
Yeah. Yeah, that 20th anniversary was. See, Spielberg's like, oh, let's make these changes. Let's see how it is. And, we can add, E.T. can finally blink properly, and we can have CGI E.T. and we can remove the guns. Because why are guys pointing guns at kids?
Let's point some walkie-talkies instead.
And that was one of the funniest episodes of South Park I have ever seen. I'm wondering whether that's the one where it's like, it's George Lucas and Steven Spielberg raped my childhood. I think that's that episode. But all the cops have walkie-talkies and they cock the walkie-talkies all the time. But I think after that movie came out, Spielberg realized, you know what? I'm not farting around with any of my movies anymore. And then they released, and the good thing about that is that they released in that box set, they released the 20th anniversary special edition and they released the original version. And I think both of them were remastered properly, unlike Star Wars, where George just said, here's the Laserdisc. I'm going to put it on a DVD and I'm not going to do anything about it. So Spielberg then realized, I'm not playing around with my movies anymore. Never are you going to see, with the exception of, he played around with, Close Encounters. Holy smokes. You know how many versions of Close Encounters there are?
Kind of like Blade Runner, isn't it?
It's so like, there's the version where you can go inside the spaceship. Then there's a version where it has better special effects. I think he was still working on it until the late 80s. But after that, he just leaves them alone. There's no more like CGI tinkering with his films the way that George Lucas does it. Although,
said that.
Someone did fart around with Raiders of the Lost Ark for television. And if you can find it on YouTube, it's god awful.
Is that the 4K?
Yeah, they've done some very subtle tinkering with these versions as well.
Sure.
But it's not changing it, not like George Lucas has done, a whole new stuff. They've kind of cleaned up some mats, some of the black lines that were really kind of egregious, that sort of thing, which I'm okay with.
I'm okay with that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like the the reflection on the glass with the snake. I'm fine
Yeah.
with them getting rid of that. But they completely CGI'd one sequence where during the desert chase when the Jeep's falling off the cliff. And so instead of the matte painting, the beautiful matte painting, and our Jeep and guys falling over, and it seems like the camera is actually at the top of that mountain, just panning down and showing the guys falling. George Lucas did the stupidest thing in the entire world. It made it seem like the camera was level with the Jeep as it fell down, and then the camera pushes down the mountain and follows them down, all in CGI. And it was done for the UK high definition premiere of the movie, and it's never been available anywhere else. But you can find it on YouTube, and it's terrible.
Well, there was a rumor going around that after South Park did the George Lucas raping the stormtrooper thing, that there was plans to redo Raiders, like a la special edition, like Star Wars. But Steven Spielberg saw it at South Park, and he's like, "No, I'm not. No, yeah, I'm not going to do it." So thank you, South Park, if that's true.
Thank you, South Park. Yes,
you did something good.
I mean, I don't mind if they want to fart around with it, but the original should always be available for us to enjoy as like a historical document, right? I mean, what version of Star Wars is in the national? It's like a National Film Registry.
There is no version because George Lucas won't hand over the original.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah,
it's so dumb because all that work, all that innovative work that was done by that small team of ILM artists is just gone. There's no care. There's no love for it. I mean, yeah, sure, some of it looks a little janky, but still, that's what it was around back then. And it's great to see the evolution of those effects throughout and what they did and how they pushed it forward.
Yeah, and those effects at that time won an Oscar.
Exactly.
So that particular work should be preserved, so what the Oscar was, given for. So.
And didn't the film win best editing as well?
I believe, yeah.
I think. Yeah. So it's like that's gone. You can't see that Academy Award winning edit anymore. So, and I think that's why. That's why. Oh, I was thinking of another album that was just recently remastered. And when people complain about 2 CD sets of John Williams albums, and they, there's complete scores on one side and the actual albums on the other, and they're like, why do I need why do I need the original album? But there's a couple of them. I think it was Matt Mendocino talking about one of them that won a Grammy Award, and it's like the first time the Grammy Award winning soundtrack has been remastered and presented properly, and it might have been E.T. And I mean that's important. Because I think this is out of print. It's like impossible. Well, then again, the new ET version is out of print too, which is so stupid. But I'm all for preserving the art, especially if it's won something or has been praised. I mean, I can't. I mean, I guess I can, but I mean, I could show my kids like Star Wars, but it's like, oh yeah, here are all the dumb new special effects, but they can't see a version the way I saw it when I was a kid.
Star Wars got 7 Academy Awards. Score, visual effects, production design, costume design, sound mixing, film editing, and then they got a Special Achievement Academy Award for Ben Burtt.
And even Ben Burtt's sound effects have been changed, and I hate that.
We can make them better, like the $6 Million Man. Come on, we have the technology. We can.
Again,
I will say this though: through the 3 Indiana Jones films have, I think, more Academy Awards than the 9 Star Wars films.
I know the first 2 films won Oscars for special effects.
Yeah.
I think they were all nominated for music, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
None of them won, unfortunately.
Nope.
And they obviously won some other Oscars.
How many did Raiders win? Like 5? I mean, I know they were all
Wow.
technical, but it's egregious though that out of all the Academy Award nominations that the Raiders got, Harrison Ford didn't get one for acting. It's and the fact he's had one. Harrison Ford's had one Academy Award nomination in his entire career.
Witness.
Witness.
Wasn't it Witness?
And he didn't get one for The Fugitive, which was a huge film. Everybody else was nominated. Harrison
What about
Ford
Mosquito Coast?
Nope.
He's so good in Mosquito Coast.
He's so
so
un-Harrison Ford-like.
Yes.
It's incredible.
It's one of his best roles.
Raiders
I
got
hate him. I hate him in that movie.
Raiders got visual effects, production design, sound mixing, film editing, and special achievement again for Ben Burt and Richard L. Anderson. It lost Best Picture, Original Score. I still don't understand that. Best Director and Best Cinematography.
I mean, Chariots of Fire winning it's the flavor of the month. It's got a great theme. Everybody knew it. So, hey, I know that melody. I'll vote for that. So, yeah, I agree. It should have won. But it's the Oscars.
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I've given up on them. Completely. It's just so sad. Although, I mean, I'm okay with the decision they made last year. So everybody take their pot shots at me now.
Temple of Doom was only nominated for 2, as far as I can see.
Yeah.
For visual effects and for music.
Yeah.
It won for the visual effects.
Yeah. And did Last Crusade win anything?
I think it may.
Probably not. I don't think so.
Yeah, sound editing.
Oh, it won for sound. I don't know. So, I mean, you said that Star Wars, like the all 9 film, I think Star Wars might have more. The Force Awakens won a pile of awards. Or did they just get nominated for a pile? I think they got a lot of the technical.
I was thinking they just got nominated.
Well,
so, 3 indies, I've got 7. Force Awakens didn't win anything.
Oh, really?
Nomination: score, visual effects, sound mixing, film editing, sound editing.
Huh. I thought it won some. I guess it didn't. But it won the MTV Movie and TV Award for Best
Well,
Villain.
I mean that right there is everything, right?
Wow.
Oh, wow. I thought it won Academy Awards. That's quite shocking.
Mad Max Fury Road won, was it 6 or 7
was that the same year?
Oscars? I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
Because Fury Road was nominated for Best Film and Best Director as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Although it's funny it didn't get a score nomination. Isn't that interesting? I don't think it's all that great anyway, but it's like, these films that like huge technical achievements that then just rack up all the technical awards, but then the music department's like, nope, we're going to pick all the critical darlings. So, yeah.
I actually quite like the score to Fury Road.
Was that Chunky XO?
That's right. I think in the film it works really well. I just can't stand it on its own. But I think,
I must admit there are only certain parts of the score I can actually listen to away from the film.
Yeah.
Some of it's a bit.
Although that kind of Herman-esque cue when Furiosa is kind of like crying in the desert is really, really well done. And of course there's that very famous motif during the action music that was used in the trailer, and that seemed to hit the right chord. And he's going to be scoring Furiosa, so
yeah.
Although I thought I would have been interesting to hear what John Powell would have done with that.
Was he attached to it at any point?
No, but he worked with George Miller before. I thought that would have been neat, or like Nigel Westlake. who he worked with on Babe and Babe Pig in the City. That would have been fun. I think George Miller worked with Powell on an animated movie. Penguins, I think. What the heck was
Happy
that called?
Feet.
Yeah, that's it. So I thought Powell would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But I
But
mean, what's
we got
Powell
what we
doing
got.
next? Do we know? Do you know what Powell's doing next? Like, what's he been up to? Oh,
He's
I
doing
think
his
there was an
shopping.
announcement for something. But yeah, it's like I don't know, maybe just got too busy and wanted to take a break. Let's do. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, all right. What else do you want to talk about?
Anyway, I put a post on Scores and Soundtracks this week about film music in 1982, because obviously it's the 40th anniversary of things like Blade Runner and E.T. And there were 4 films amazingly that came out in June of 1982. There was E.T., Blade Runner, The Thing, and there was Poltergeist, all in the same month, which I thought was incredible.
That is bananas.
Yeah.
When did Conan come out?
That was 82 as well, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the month.
I'm trying to. Okay, so Conan came out in May. I mean, when you look early in the year, I mean, we had Jaws of Satan in January.
Wow.
Man, best film ever.
Night Crossing. So think about all the great scores. I mean, these might not all be
Night
great
Crossing.
movies, but you have February, you have Night Crossing. Death Wish 2. Let's see what else we got here. Cat People, which has an interesting score by Alan Silvestri. Sword and the Sorcerer. It's a David Whitaker. Really good score. Fitzcarraldo. I'm trying to get through that movie, and it's intriguing. But it's really long. Yeah, so Conan came out in May. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid came out the weekend after. Rocky 3 came out 2 weekends after that. Then you had June 4th, Poltergeist and Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Wow.
But hey, just you wait. June 11th, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And then June 25th, you have Blade Runner and The Thing the same weekend.
I love that.
Wow. And E.T. made $792 million.
And 1982 money.
I'm sure that also includes all the theatrical re-releases and things like that. But still, it was the highest grossing film of all time until I think the special editions of Star Wars came out. Poltergeist made 121 million. Blade Runner 39 million. The Thing only 13 million. July 2nd, The Secret of Nim. July 9th, Tron. Jerry Goldsmith's The Challenge comes out July 23rd.
Have y'all seen that?
I haven't seen
Never
The Challenge,
seen it.
but it's a great score.
It's an awesome score.
Friday the 13th 3 comes out in August. Pink Floyd The Wall comes out in August. The Beastmaster, August 20th.
Lee Holdridge.
That is.
Yeah.
And then the classic, Inchon.
It's like a 3-disc set right there.
Yeah. John Williams provides a song for Yes Giorgio in September. I the Jury, that's Conti, isn't it? I think so.
That sounds right.
First Blood comes out in October. Halloween 3 comes out that same weekend. Also that same weekend, the Razzie Award-winning film, at least I think it was, Monsignor, comes out with a Razzie Award-nominated score by John Williams. Man from Snowy River in November. Creep Show comes out November. The Last Unicorn. Have you guys heard The Last Unicorn?
Mhm.
It's really good. LSO recording. 48 Hours. James Horner. Gandhi. Sophie's Choice. Oh, that championship season. That's a Goldsmith score. The Dark Crystal.
Oh,
And that's it. That's 82. So many classics. I mean, it's a toss-up for me between 1982 and 1989 as the best of that decade. And I think 1989 could be even stronger.
85 is pretty good.
85 is good as well. I'm going to rip through 89, and I'd like to hear it in the chat. 82 or 89? Which one do you think has the best scores?
85.
I'll go through 85. So we'll do three of them.
How about 1993?
Okay, so we're gonna do it by release date. American Ninja 3 Blood Hunt. That's it. It's over.
Hell yeah, baby.
It's
Yeah,
over.
stop right there. That's all you need.
Here we go. Deep Star 6. So we're still in February. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The Burbs all came out the same weekend. Powakatsi. Farewell to the King. That's Polydorus. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen came in. We get...
Was that 89?
That was 89. We get Fletch Lives.
Harold Faltermeyer.
Correct. Major League. That's James Newton Howard. Early James Newton Howard. That's one of the best baseball movies ever made. Red Scorpion. I think that's Jay Chataway. Then you get... Same weekend. April 21st. Field of Dreams and Pet Cemetery. You get Jerry Goldsmith's Criminal Law the next weekend.
Yay!
You get Canine. All right, so in May...
Last Crusade.
You get Indiana Jones Last Crusade. You get Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
June. Dead Poets Society. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Ghostbusters 2. Batman. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Do the Right Thing. Karate Kid Part 3. Haunted Summer. Lethal Weapon 2. License to Kill. When Harry Met Sally. Friday the 13th Part 8. Turner and Hooch. Parenthood. The Abyss. Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. Oh my God, Uncle Buck. What a great movie. Casualties of War, one of Morricone's best dramatic scores. The Package, an actioner by James Newton Howard, really, really good. Black Rain, Zimmer, Drugstore Cowboy, Goldenthal, Old Gringo, beautiful score by Lee Holdridge. Fabulous Baker Boys, excellent jazz score.
Careful what you say now, because Daniel's writing all this down and he will be buying all this.
Henry
already have them.
Henry V, possibly one of the greatest debut film scores of all time. That's Patrick Doyle.
Was that his first ever score?
First ever film score.
Wow.
He wrote a whole bunch of stuff for Kenneth Branagh for the theater.
Yeah.
But as for theatrical, that's his first. And I still think it's his best. The Little Mermaid, Steel Magnolias, Prancer, Back to the Future Part 2, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Triumph of the Spirit. Oh, early Cliff Idleman. Yes. War of the Roses. Great score by David Newman. She-Devil. Did Paul Doris do She-Devil, or was it somebody else? Can't remember. Driving Miss Daisy. Glory. We're No Angels. Excellent score. Born on the 4th of July. Always. Tango and Cash.
All right,
That's
89 wins it. 89 wins it.
All right. So, and then there's one more year, folks. Let's put up 1985. All right. Wow. Oh, I see the first film, and that's actually pretty good.
Well, you left. Did you leave off The Fly too?
For 89?
Yeah, from
I might
89.
have missed it. That's a great score. You're right. Movies released in 1989. Here we go. And I'm probably going to talk about things that I'm actually familiar with. Fandango, one of, if not, I think it was the first all orchestral score by Alan Silvestri. Witness, that came out in February. Okay. Breakfast Club, The Aviator, Dominic Frontier, great score. Listen to it. I think it's a 5-star masterpiece. Missing in Action 2, The Beginning. DEFCON 4. Is that an early Christopher Young score?
I think so. That seems to fit.
Baby, Secret of Lost Legend. Really good score by Goldsmith. Friday 13th 5. The Secret of the Sword. Who did that one? Secret of the Sword. Oh, that's He-Man. Sorry.
Is it He-Man by a different title?
That's He-Man and She-Ra movie.
Oh, the cartoon.
You will not believe what I have.
Just so happen to have.
Although it's not the soundtrack.
Unbelievable.
It's the story.
Why is that?
Record.
Why is that just sitting there at your feet?
My LPs are in between my desk here and a shelf, and I got like 10 of them, and I put them in there. I don't know why I have this. I mean, I was a huge He-Man fan. I used to watch She-Ra as well. I loved it. But this is just, it's just a story. Some dude narrating the story. Anyway, I thought you might get a kick out of that one. The Care Bears movie, Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yes.
Police Academy 2, Robert Folk. Cat's Eye. So Cat's Eye, I think, is the score I was thinking about with Alan Silvestri. And the other one was, what did I say? It was Cat
People, which was Giorgio Moroder, which I think Anders Folk put up.
Yeah, thank you, because I'm stupid. Lady Hawk, The Company of Wolves.
That was George Fenton, I think, wasn't it?
Yep, gotcha. Rambo, First Blood Part 2. View to a Kill, Brazil, Fletch, The Goonies, Daryl, which is excellent, Cocoon, Life Force, Return to Oz, Red Sonja, Day of the Dead, Back to the Future, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Silverado,
85 is coming back. 85 is coming back.
Explorers, The Black Cauldron, Kiss of the Spider Woman, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Fright Night. What else we got? The Bride.
Cocoon.
Great Jar score. Year of the Dragon. Teen Wolf, American Ninja, Flesh and Blood. Another great Paul Doris.
Oh, Basil. Yeah.
Agnes of God. Delarue. Invasion USA, The Journey of Natty Gann. Commando, Jagged Edge, great score. Silver Bullet, Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. Reanimator, Wild Geese 2. Treasure Island. What the heck is that one? Is that what I think it is? Probably not. We had Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Death Wish 3. Transylvania 65000. That's a Holdred score, I think. Once Bitten, King Solomon's Mines, White Knights, Rocky 4, Santa Claus, Young Sherlock Holmes, Runaway Train, Spies Like Us, The Jewel of the Nile, Clue, The Color Purple, Out of Africa, Enemy Mine, Ran, Howling 2, and Revolution. Revolution is a brilliant John Corcoleano score. And that is 1985.
That's pretty good as well.
And his Legend, did I miss Legend? Where the hell did Legend?
Yeah, you didn't mention that.
How did I not find Legend? 3 of them.
It's Did you get Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Legend is not on this list of 1985 films.
Wow.
That seems really weird.
Unless it didn't come out until 86 for some reason in some
Legend,
areas.
1985. I'm going to look at the release date on
Legend was
IMDb.
85.
Yeah. Where do I find all the information? God, IMDb is a mess. Storyline, goofs, trivia. I need to find a Wikipedia page now.
Are we going to count TV scores like North and South?
I guess you can. They weren't on the list because they weren't theatrical, but I'm wondering about the release date of Legend and why. Maybe it was only picking. No, it's not Canada. Movies released in 1980.
April 18th, 1986 in the United States, and it was released December 13th, 1985 in the UK.
Okay, so that's probably what happened. Sorry, what was the date for the US?
US was April 18th, 86.
Yeah, there it is.
So, but it was actually released somewhere in the world in 85.
Yep. All right, so best of the 80s. Chat, go. 82, 85, or 89? I think I'm going with 89. I think I have to go with 89. Although 82, geez, man.
Doesn't E.T. just have so much like with it? You know, it's like
it does, but you get Born on the 4th of July and Indiana Jones' Last Crusade.
True.
At the same time, you get Batman.
Are we going for quantity over quality? I mean, it's quality all across the board, but 89 just seems to have more than the other years.
But I think like Blade Runner's a classic. E.T.'s a classic.
E.T.'s like the classic. Gigawatts is 89. I think 89's got more that I actually listened to. 82's got a lot like, man, like what a great year for film music.
But I mean, like Conan the Barbarian's in my top 20. But Blade Runner's in my top 20.
For like 1982, right?
Of all time.
All time?
Yeah, but particularly 1982 though, rather than 89.
Yeah, like 89, I have Batman, which would be in my like top 20. God, I just said them all now. I don't know which ones I said. Howard Shore did She Devil. That's right. Okay. Yeah, but like Henry the Fifth would be like in my top 50. Star Trek 5. Rambo, like would First Blood be in my top? No, see, Rambo wouldn't be in my top 20 of all time.
Wouldn't Rambo just be all lumped together as one entry?
Well,
they're actually very different. They're very different. I mean, First Blood is a very different score compared to 2.
It is.
It's a very different film.
Oh, very much so. That's right. Sorry, someone said something disqualifies for what? What did they say in the chat? I'm going back to the chat here. What just happened? Star Trek 5 disqualifies 1989 from contention. I
enjoyed watching Star Trek 5.
So do I. Have a very, very soft spot for that film because I think it gets.
So do I. I quite like. I mean, it's got its problems, but
it does. I think it brings those three closer together maybe than any other film. Like, I mean, the three of them together. Like when they're in their in that room and they're all facing their past. And of course the fire the fire scene at the end. I mean at the beginning, even at the end, the row your boat. I find that the camaraderie right there is more so than in any of the other movies. I also love the idea because it really hammers home the point of discovering new life and new civilizations, going where no one has gone before, and you're visiting this place which could be the home of God, and I'm fascinated with that sort of stuff. I mean, there's a couple of action sequences, but I mean, I don't even think you needed those. I was more fascinated with the fact that the Enterprise got hijacked and where are we going? It's like that in Star Trek 1 where it's like, what is V'ger? I love the mystery. I love mysteries in Star Trek. And so I think the studio let William Shatner down, and wasn't there a writer's strike at that time too or something like that? But anyway, he didn't get the and he didn't get the special effects that he needed. And I think that
they cut the budget like the very end of the movie,
and that's too bad, because I really do think that if all of the elements came together, I think it would work, and it would be, heralded as one of the better Star Trek movies. But it's just some of the wonky effects are so brutal. But I do like sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, go on. Sorry.
No, I'm done. I want to hear your thoughts.
No, it was some of the extras on the Blu-ray releases. There were some great kind of documentaries about the making of it, and they were saying as special effects were coming in, Shatner and his team were thinking, well, these are the kind of they're the special effects studios version of animatics. It's the placeholder effects until they complete them. But what he was receiving was completed effects. But by that stage, it was too late to think, well, this isn't great. But we'll just have to go with this.
Right.
So it must have been crushingly disappointing from his side of things.
No doubt, and especially with the the kind of ego that he had, right?
Yeah. I
think he was let down, honestly. I think it looks great. I think the cinematography is wonderful. I do think that the script is good. I think the performances are fantastic. I like what it brings to the Star Trek story and the canon. I think it's fantastic, with the exception of a few things. But I've, when I had to go back and watch it again, when I was reviewing it with Randy on Soundtrack Alley, I was surprised by how much I really, really enjoyed it, and spent a lot of time on that podcast with him defending the film and its ideas. But then again, then once you get Star Trek 6, you're like, well, holy smokes. Of course, 5 is nowhere near as good as 6, in my opinion. But yeah, I think 5 just gets dumped on way too much.
The Goldsmith score is phenomenal to me.
Oh, the score is the genius of a busy man. Was like my favorite moment in that score is when they're all kind of like watching the screen and watching the team go down to the planet, and you got Busy Man playing, and they're not even paying attention to any of the monitors. And Shatner takes the camera and slowly pushes on one of the monitor, and it's this warning of a Klingon cruiser coming in, and during this just elegant heavenly piece, Goldsmith quotes his Klingon theme, but it just fits so beautifully. It's just woven into this gorgeous piece, and it's like that is beautiful musical storytelling right there. Because again, all you have to do is have the visuals, and then just Goldsmith saying, "Oh, yeah, those are the Klingons," and then go back to it, and it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. That's one of my favorite moments.
It was great to have Goldsmith back after 10 years as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And to have that Star Trek theme at the front was just.
And then you got the mountain cue. He uses it once. That's about as good as the asteroid field. You got this wonderful theme that any other composer would use as the main theme for their film score, and he uses it once. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I wish it was reprised in the end credits. I really do. Yeah. Just fleshed it out into like a concert version, because it's a stunning cue. But even the recording is fantastic. I love the way he plays with the Klingon material. It's a superb score. So
Mark, Maggie, what was the soundtrack you bought in '89 on cassette? I'm curious. And Gigawatt asked, what is your most prized soundtrack in your collection? Ian?
That's a difficult one.
You got the Entrada Congo?
I do have the Entrada Congo.
You do? Okay.
I wouldn't say it's my prized.
Okay. Yeah, what do you mean by prize? Like, is it like your favorite, or is it the most expensive one, or like that's what
the most expensive one I have
is the Entrada Congo.
Entrada Congo. I paid 400 quid for that. Is that?
Yes. Yeah. I totally missed out on that one. I want it so bad just to have it. Yeah. That's the collectible in me going like, I should have had that, even though I have all of those scores elsewhere, except for maybe 2 or 3. But shit, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I did a post on our Facebook page on that sometime last year, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody chimed in saying, well, all that's redundant, so it's a bit of a waste of money. And I said, look, it wasn't about the money. It was I wanted that for what it was, and for the celebration of the music that it was meant for at that time. It was that Robert Townsend produced it. I was so chuffed to actually get it in the end that. I'd say I've got most of the scores expanded or better quality, but I just love that box set.
Yeah. That was a labor of love for Townsend. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
Well, Mark says his first one was born on the 4th of July. Okay, that's a good first 5. I would say.
Absolutely.
My precious. God, I'm trying to think of whether I actually did this on that long video. And I think like my most precious soundtrack, the one that I just care about the most. All right, I'll go get it. And it's not going to be a surprise.
I'm going to take a guess. I don't know whether Eric can hear us, but I reckon it's going to be Raiders.
All right. I mean, like, if I had to just take one thing with me on a desert island, it would be this. But it's such a personal album or release.
Damn it! I made a guess that it was going to be Raiders related, but I got it wrong.
It might have been, but I'm just thinking that this one. I mean, I just when someone said it, yeah. Like when someone said, I'm just like I instantly went towards the Star Wars trilogy. I just think it's about the most perfect soundtrack release of all time. Even though, yeah, there's a couple of messed up cues where the stereo field has been reversed, but I think for the time that these guys had to put this together. Again, another like labor of love. The fact that we even got this in 1993, and I didn't get it until much later. But it is just like this is where you like when you compare this.
Ian, the
to this hunk of junk.
Oh Lord!
Right. So I mean,
triggered. I'm triggered.
I mean, I'm sure we all have this, but I mean, there's like 3 essays in here, track by track analysis, all these beautiful images, beautifully put together, 4 wonderful discs filled with great Star Wars music. Still has Jedi, the best sounding version of it here. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And then, many, many years later, someone thought this was a good idea. Like, let's put all of these in these stupid plastic sleeves. Oh, that's just garbage. The flimsy booklet, which doesn't say anything. Right? Like, it's just photos. It's just photos of.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Just photos. And then wasn't there like, one note from Laurent Bourreau? And it's just the cheapest hunk of junk. It's so sad that Indiana Jones has just been treated this way.
So far.
So far, and again, I hope that they're working on it, and at least in my lifetime, I'll get something that's beautiful. But then again, I have DCC Raiders, and I'm still super happy about that. But yeah, Star Wars trilogy. This might be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Talking of Star Wars box sets, I can't remember when this one came out.
Yeah.
And it had the 6 films as they were at that stage, but they kind of reproduced the artwork from the original albums.
That's awesome.
But had the 2 CD versions of the re-released ones.
Oh, like the special editions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So, but all the kind of track listings on these are for the original.
Mm.
There we go.
But it's not in that presentation, though, is it?
No.
Okay.
That's it's the two over 2 hours of music from the 97 when they came out in 97, the special editions.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it's just a.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like the most expensive thing I have. It's probably in a box. Like, I mean, are the Lord of the Rings releases still stupid expensive? Like the original first pressings?
No.
Like, is that how much is that still worth these days? Even though they re-released them, right?
Are they still available?
Are they still available?
Some guy was selling them on eBay. I almost bought it accidentally. I thought I was looking at an LP, but it was a CD set. He wanted like $4.50 for it for
for
the
one.
For the Fellowship of the Ring, and I thought on LP, hell yeah! And I'm like, I got to read this description very well, and I'm like, oh, it's a CD. No, I don't want that. But I know something that Eric Woods just got from Discogs.
What did I get?
You're supposed to guess.
What did I get? I just
got Jared Goldsmith.
If he got it,
Fox.
Sorry, say it again. Say it again.
Jared Goldsmith at 20th Century Fox. It's coming your way from Discogs.
Me?
Eric Woods.
It's coming to me?
If I did the checkout correctly. If not, it'll come.
Shut up! Stop it!
Serious. Just got it.
Dude, come on. No, dude.
You said you wanted it. They had it at a really great price, and I'm like, "Is that the real price?" Like, no fucking shit. And I kept looking at it, and I'm like,
"Okay,
done."
Okay, so, look, I've got to give you something.
You don't have to give me anything.
I should. Do you have Space Camp on LP?
No.
Okay. I don't listen to these. They just sit in here. The only thing I want to do with them eventually is frame them, but I've had them for years. I mean, it's nice to have it as a collectible, but will you listen to this?
Yeah. Have you not seen my LP collection? I mean,
yeah, I just didn't know whether like Space Camp was. I mean,
I would listen to it.
It's still in really good condition. I mean, my God, it's like shiny.
I mean, you're not like scraping needles across it, are you?
I've played this maybe twice, but I got it used. And I don't think they put the price on it. No, they didn't, which is good. But I'm trying to think of like, I will never play these. I mean, it's great that I have it, but I've got the CD. So how much does it usually cost to ship an LP? Oh my God.
From like Europe, about $25 to $35.
But if it's from here? From Canada, it'd be stupid price.
Like US, it's like $10, I think, 5 to 10.
All right, I'll look into it, and I guess I got to go get a special box for it. And then, I mean, how do they normally pack them? Like, can you just go to like the post office and say I need to send this, and they'll give you a right box for it? Or
every record I get, it's like the post office has these magical boxes that are made perfectly for LPs. And I don't. I've never seen them at my post office, but they're somewhere out there.
So, I mean, seriously, you didn't just do that.
I did.
You're insane.
Well,
you're insane. How much was it?
That's not important. It was cheap for what it was. It was cheap.
That's amazing.
It's the cheapest. It was the cheapest I've ever seen it. I'm like, do you have two of these? But no, he only had one.
God. Okay, you didn't. No, you didn't have to.
I'm
more than happy to send. I've been thinking about this Space Camp album for a long time, and I'm like, they just sit here. And
it's the 6 CD compilation, right? That's the right one, right?
From Perez Saraban.
Because this price is like really cheap for this. I've never seen it this cheap.
Is it real? Wow. Okay. Well, thank you. So when I get around, I'll send you Space Camp, so at least I know that somebody is going to love it and play it, and that person is you. So, Ian, you're getting absolutely nothing. What are you sending my way?
I'm quite happy getting nothing. Daniel has been more than generous with me over the past few months.
You know what? I do have some doubles though. I might be lying, but I might have.
I'm serious. Like it's like less than a third of what it should
Really?
be. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way this is the right price, but this is what it's listed at. So
I might have a few doubles of some FSM stuff that I might also want to get rid of. But I don't know whether I have or not. I mean, I know I've got a guy that comes every year and he just raids my collection, and I just like, I'll take it because I have a double of it. But I'd have to check again. But I think one of my most expensive things that I had for the longest time until it was re-released was the Towering Inferno, was FSM's Towering Inferno.
that
And
was
I think that was like
incredibly pricey.
$500. I'm wondering whether is it still going for that price, even though the
No,
La La Land box is still.
no prices dropped when they did the box set.
Yeah, I mean that's a great release, but yeah, to have the Towering Inferno was, but I got a whole pile of FSM stuff too.
I think I've got like 3 copies of the Towering Inferno.
One of the CDs I was really excited to get when I got it about, I can't remember when it was, maybe about 9 years ago, was that.
Yeah.
Sweet. That goes for quite a bit now, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved that film because I saw it at the right age. You know, when you're that stupid thing just blowing up, and
yes,
and
you're right.
The music imprinted on me the first time I watched it. That march, when you first see Wild Bill Kelso get up out of the plane and he comes into the shot with a cigar, and they go, wow, that's brilliant. I loved it.
Yep.
So,
I guarantee you somewhere there's like a young Michael Bay that saw that film and he's like, I can do this, but better.
Yeah.
And he made Pearl Harbor.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, that thing is insane. That's it. Yeah. The sheer amount of comedic talent on screen. I mean, no wonder it got a little out of control. Not a little out of control. It got so out of control. I mean, that film should have essentially ended Spielberg's career right there, because
it made money. But
the problem was that but it didn't make the money that Jaws and Close Encounters made. And every single movie, and I'm not sure whether it's the same for Sugarland, but Jaws, Close Encounters, in 1941 were way over budget and way over the shooting schedule. And that was the biggest complaint with Spielberg. It's like, yeah, you know, he overshoots and costs us a lot of money, but we always make it back. And 1941 was like really the first failure. And I'm like, where would his career be if it wasn't for George Lucas? Because essentially George Lucas saved Steven Spielberg's career. And Lucas doesn't get enough credit for that, because Lucas is like, so here's the deal. I've got like, I don't know how much the budget was. I'm going to say it's like $20 million for Raiders of the Lost Ark. We're not going a cent over. And by the way, you're going to shoot 2-3 takes of each scene, and then we're moving on. We're shooting this like a television show. So giddy up, and we're going to do this, on time. And I think they were under budget and under schedule. And yeah. And so it was like, and then that just turns out to be one of the biggest hits of all time. And then that, Spielberg's career is back. But it was George Lucas literally telling him, it's like, you're not doing it the way you used to do it. This is how we're going to do it. And I think that's fantastic. And it's just these two buddies coming together and creating the ultimate film. And it's just, yeah, Lucas is the one telling them not to indulge.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's exactly what he needed as well, because
yes.
I think Lucas said, look, you're going to have to rely on a second unit director as well.
That's right.
To do all the big stuff for you.
Can you, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I know he had that all storyboarded out, but I mean, I would want to be there shooting that desert chase. Totally. But they did it to the T. It's so good. Like, I mean, you watch that film, and there aren't many like music edits, which tells me that, with the exception of the miracle at the end, I know there's a much longer scene there that Williams scored, and that's heavily edited at the end, which is quite unfortunate. But for the most part, the music plays as is. So I mean, the cut that Williams got that he wrote to is essentially the same cut that we then see in the theater. No fluff, right? Just here it is, and let's go. But I would love to see the original Miracle of the Ark as Williams saw it and scored it.
I watched Raiders again at the weekend in 4K, which looks absolutely fantastic. And you know, that final scene where the head explodes, the head melts, and the head kind of crushes in. That the head exploding is the most graphic thing I've ever seen for a PG certificate film.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they try to cover it up with the flame, it really is, wow, incredible.
But it's all the stuff even beforehand, right? When that dude's face melts, it's like, what the hell? Really? And that's PG. But then again, I think
the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, there was I remember maybe it was Sheena. That was like I think that was a PG movie, and there's like 3 scenes of full-on frontal nudity. And that's a PG movie. There's numerous films back in the early 80s that were like that. You know, there was you could swear a lot and show nudity, but I think it was all based on how graphic the violence was, which got you your R rating. But even that, like Temple of Doom, like PG-13. Jeez. Man. That's crazy.
But we all love the Temple of Doom. Let's just be honest about that.
That's true. True. Temple of Doom is a freaking classic. That's one I will defend to the end.
Me too.
Always. Yeah. But wow. It's been quite an afternoon there, Birdman. We're only an hour into this thing. What else do I need?
I'm tapped out for the rest of the day. I can't buy you a McLaren or a Ducati. So
did I mention that I'm missing a lot of Uncharted's back catalog?
Yeah.
I've already got your Christmas present picked out. So, but it's not from Uncharted. I think it's from Berseraband. So, Gigawatt wants to know what my precious is. No pun intended, but like the most expensive would probably be the Lord of the Rings complete recordings on LP, the second one and the third. If anyone's got the first one for a reasonable price, hit me up. You got it on LP?
No.
Oh.
I was just thinking about something really something really expensive. How much is this?
Oh, I don't know, 300-400.
Wow. Okay, wait, but it's still shrink wrap.
Okay.
How much?
$50.
50.
If it had been played, it would be worth more.
1,500 units only. But it's like, I'm wondering if this is like one of their, like I'm hearing jiggling and lots of stuff. I wonder if this is one of their like their promo. Like, I mean, they sent me as a promo, but I want, like, they usually send the ones that like they can tell that there's like a crack in the case, or a disc is loose, or the teeth on the little thing that grabs the are all mangled. But yeah, that one. How much is that one?
Let me find out. I actually got that from Walmart of all places.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, do I have another one?
You have two?
Oh no, I just have another one. Okay, this one is still in shrink wrap, sort of. I think I just ripped it. But how much is that one?
Yeah. That's a lot. I think that's like $500-600.
No, only problem
is that from La La Land?
Yeah, I got a tear in the shrink wrap.
I don't think people care. That goes.
Oh, and oh wait. Oh, no, it's not a punch out. Okay, I thought it was. So how much is this one?
So which one?
Sorry, Star Trek.
Let me figure out Lost in Space first.
Didn't that come free with a magazine?
Sorry, say that again.
Didn't that come free with a magazine?
The Star Trek collection?
Yeah.
No.
You know, where they give away CDs, you know, with
Yeah.
a magazine years ago. It's just like a
No.
freebie. No.
Although I do remember those. Or did you guys ever get like CD-ROMs of like games in cereal boxes?
In cereal boxes.
Yeah. So back in the, I'm gonna say the 90s, they would give out like Monopoly, but it was on a disc, so you could play it on your computer, or like a railroad tycoon type game, and they would give them out free in cereal boxes. It's like you used to get prizes in cereal boxes, and they just offered these games. I had a couple of them, like Scrabble. So
I remember them giving away free toys in packets of cereals, but it just used to be like a cheap plastic whistle or a comb that was about that big.
right.
You know, you think,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah, like Cracker Jack toys.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we got these game. I saw it on like I was flipping through TikTok, and someone said, like, do you remember these? I'm like, holy smokes, absolutely I do. But I had a few of them.
There's one on Amazon for $1,000.
Star Trek or Lost in Space?
Star Trek.
You know what? I'm going to sell mine. I could pay off my computer that I just bought. Holy cow, $1,000. Oh, so on Discogs though, doesn't it say like what they've gone for in the past?
Yeah. I'm not sure like the exact title to type in for that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Wow, $1,000. Who would pay for that? I mean,
And that's
like,
what I think. You know, I think you'll get it, but you're not going to get it. You know.
I'm not gonna. Sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
You know, I think eventually you'll get it, but it's not going to be a quick mover.
Wow, I wonder what. Like, I mean, it's just sitting there. I have the digital files. Should just let somebody listen to it and enjoy it for $1,000. Although, I want you to look this one up. This one, I've heard, is pretty rare. Now, the crazy thing about this one is I was given 10 copies.
10 copies?
Of this by Rhino Records. Now, I think I did read it there was this book that I had from a really, really long time ago called U.S. Soundtracks on CD. And from what I can remember, let me see if it's in here. I'll show it to you after I confirm. Oh, maybe there's a compilation section. Oh, yeah, selected compilations.
Okay, according to Discogs, the lowest it sold for was $63.16. The median price is $210.53. The highest is $842.09. God bless that man.
Holy smokes. Various artists. Maybe
$518 is the cheapest one on Discogs right now.
Oh, all right. This is only $75. But it's $75, and I had 10 of them, and I just gave them away.
$750.
Because that's what I was supposed to do. But it's called Hollywood's Most Precious Jewels, and it's literally it opens up, and it's just like a compilation album of it's a sampler, the Rhino Records movie music. So, but it's a neat book. It's all like tons of writing, but it tells you what album they're on. But it has like That's Entertainment, North by Northwest, Over the Rainbow, Dr. Zhivago, some of the songs, Hooray for Hollywood. But apparently this thing is worth quite a bit. And I just gave them away to people when I was on FM. It was like part of just a giveaway, trivia giveaway. But I didn't know if this is still, if anyone has it, or whether it's still expensive.
Talking of free CDs with magazines. I have no idea what this was with, but it's a free CD. It had 2 tracks from the score for Starship Troopers. There was a multimedia section. There was an interview with Paul Verhoeven, an interview with Alan Cameron, the production designer. But it came free with the magazine. It was just a
Wow.
one. So I think that was maybe about a month or 2 before the soundtrack actually came out as well. So
I think the soundtrack, it took a while to come out, right?
yeah.
Oh, I got some numbers on your Lost in Space box set.
Okay.
There are 3 options. One is 600, one is 650, one is 800.
Jeez. And what's the cheapest it's gone for?
I think it's at
$50,
$68, but that was a long time ago. I'm sorry, the lowest is 110. It was last sold November 13th, 2021.
Okay. Those seem
39
like more
people
reasonable.
have it, 37 people want it.
Oh my Lord. Oh, okay. I was thinking, I'm looking in this book. When was this published? 1999. It says Bridges of Madison County. There's a rare promotional issue of the Lenny Niehaus score. And it's $250. Oh my Lord. Okay, here's another one. Master's film music version of The Boys from Brazil. Although this is obviously before the Intrada release came out, it was $150. Or the SCSE version of Body Heat, $200. Jerome Moros's The Big Country, the Screen Archives version is $250. What?
That's just crazy money.
Okay, The Blob. Film Tracks, 1988, $200. Now, here's a special one. Remember Blood In, Blood Out? What happened with that?
No.
Okay, so it does have the interesting story here. So it's a Bill Conti album. Now, they say this is the Kane Mutiny of soundtracks on CD because the Kane Mutiny LP is worth like bazillion dollars. So this disc, which contains over 30 minutes of aggressive Latin jazz percussive score, was manufactured but never released. It's through Reyes. Copies do exist, but they are estimated to be fewer than 50 that were released as promotional copies within the industry. Attempts to confirm the exact problems associated with the CD were not successful, but apparently certain legalities prevented an official release, including an abrupt title change by the production company shortly before the film's release. Originally titled Blood In, Blood Out, the film was renamed Bound by Honor. It is generally believed that Reyes Sarabande produced an entire run of CDs. At the time of this book's publication, there's no confirmation of destruction or continued existence of the production run. Arguably the rarest soundtrack CD that was never offered to the public for sale. Copies continue to leak out on the market, and they say it was $300 20 years ago. But that is like, I've heard about that album, and yeah, they say there's about 50 copies left. It's huge money for that. And I've never seen anybody that's actually owned one. So I have no idea whether it's good or not. Like, again, like Latin music for 30 minutes. Man, this is such a... I wish they'd update this book, but I guess what's the point, right? When you have Discogs. Holy Christ. Okay, here's another one. Maurice Jarre's Sun Chaser. This was released in 1996. Was going to be released on Milan Records, but the album was canceled. A limited number of finished discs, not CDRs, were manufactured and distributed to radio stations for a promotion. Never sent them my way. However, the finished packaging was never made. The discs were reportedly destroyed. The CD is super rare. Back in 1999, it was $500.
Wow.
I think there's only like 3 tracks on it or something like that. Yeah, it's a fascinating... Oh, here's another one that has never been released, actually. Tailspin. I have this somewhere. Christopher Stone. Do you remember Tailspin, the movie?
Cartoon.
Yeah, it's a Dynamite score, and it was released as a promotional album. For 40 minutes of score is $200. Yeah, this is a really neat book. Glad I think I got it for free. I bought something else through Film Score Monthly, and they were offering a free publication, and I picked this one. The Witches of Eastwick was $200. Wild Geese, Master's Film Music, $150.
Wild Geese, as in the Roy Budd score.
Correct. Okay, so here's a whole page on the most the most expensive albums. I'm trying to look for something that like when Cherry 2000, before it was re-released, it was $500. King Kong 2, John Scott, $400.
I've got that King Kong score on LP.
This one's Japanese, I think, CD release.
Right.
Serpent in the Rainbow was $400. Sun Chaser, $500. Vibes, the original Vibes, was $300.
I've got the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull test pressing on LP.
That's got to be priceless.
I felt kind of bad because I don't remember what group it was. They were talking about the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and the guy said, "I wish it would come out on LP." And I said, "It came out on a test pressing. I have it." Felt kind of bad. But yeah, it's just two. I mean, they're blank. There's no track listing on it.
Really?
It doesn't say.
And it's the same contents as the CD.
Exact same content as the CD.
Huh.
Does it play okay?
Yeah, does it play okay? Isn't it? Does it sound any different?
Yeah, it plays fine. But word was they were going to do it, but then they canceled it. But they'd already done the test pressings. I don't know where the guy got it. There's at least 2 copies of this in existence. I don't know how many more there are.
Sorry, there's 2 in existence? Is that what you just said?
According to Discogs, there's 2.
Yeah. My God, you could probably pay for your house selling that.
This is for sale for $1.5 million. Anybody wants to?
Your house is worth a bit.
Yeah.
That's what it would cost to get me to move.
All right.
I'm not saying it's worth that. I'm just saying if you want me to move.
I meant to mention before we get too far from Bill Conti. I meant to mention this a few weeks ago. I think we were talking about Bill Conti again, but it was his score for the Thomas Crown Affair, the remake with Pierce Brosnan. I really enjoyed that score. Do you know it?
Yeah, and it's a very short CD, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I really quite liked it. It's
it's very good.
It was used in the UK. It was used to advertise British Rail about 10 years ago, for some reason.
Really?
And as soon as that advertisement came on, I was like, wow, that's Bill Conti. I'm always chuffed when they use film music in an advert. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, because I think there's a baker here in the UK called Warburton's. It was one of the biggest bakers in the UK, and for one of their advertising campaigns, they used the theme to Air Force One for about 2 months. And that was the best advert I've ever seen in my life.
I remember like a jewelry chain using Tron Legacy. Was it jewelry? I remember Tron Legacy was all over the place after that came out. It was on everything. But I can't remember hearing like a distinctive piece of film music that I'm like, oh yeah. And that was like in an advertisement. I'm trying to think.
But there's been music that's been used in advertising that I hadn't realized as being from a film, and only later on found out it was from a film. One was there's a beer, there's an Irish beer. I can't remember the name of it, but they used Carter Burwell's score from what's the Coen Brothers kind of 20s, 30s gangster film
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
with Gabriel Byrne.
Oh, crying out
What is
loud.
it?
That's going to drive me
What's the name of
nuts.
that film?
Hold on.
The Sun Chaser release.
Miller's Crossing.
Miller's Crossing. The advertising campaign used music from that, and it was only about a year or two later that I actually I'd never seen the film, and I watched it. I thought, oh, hang on, that's the beer advert music. So
Wow. Sorry, what were you saying, Daniel?
The Sun Chaser soundtrack. There's it says SC-Tokyo Blackout / Sun Chaser / Prancer complete score Maurice Jarre. And it's got like 17 tracks from Tokyo Blackout, and then it's got a suite from Sun Chaser. That's not the one, is
That's
it?
a boot. I'll see if I can pull it up on Music Brains because I think that's where I saw the artwork. Actually, I don't even know if it has artwork. I think it just said that it was Milan released it was blank. Hold on. Sun Chaser. That's not the theme, by the way. Sorry.
it's a bit dull if it is.
Yeah. Finished packaging was never made, so I honestly think it's just jewel case and disc.
Okay.
But I'm gonna look it up.
It's kind of like an FYC.
It was supposed to be a proper album, but Milan was producing it, but then it was canceled. So, like I said, they sent out radio singles or radio versions of it. Let's see. I mean, it's available on like YouTube if you want to listen to it. So, Milan. Yeah, it's literally just a picture disc that says excerpts from the original motion picture soundtrack. There's no track listing though. And the only other place that you can get it commercially to hear portions of it was on a Maurice Jarre at the Royal Festival Hall. But as for a track listing, I can't find the track listing. Milan Records. Okay, Film Music site. Let's see if they have anything. 4 tracks that equal 17 minutes. That's it.
17 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it goes for like big money.
Yeah. I'm not a Maurice Jarre completist, so I'm okay.
Yeah, he's one I don't really reach for that often. Although I remember Taipan, that's what it's called, blew me away when I first heard it. That's probably my favorite score of his, next to Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, and his Dead Poet Society score is gorgeous.
I love the second half of Enemy Mine. I'm not too much
you're
of a
right.
fan. I'm not too much of a fan of the electronic noodling in the first half of the film, but
Right.
when the orchestra takes over, I think it's fantastic stuff.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna just change the subject. Oh, okay, I'm gonna watch this when I get Peter Boyer. You guys know who he is? Anybody a fan of him? He's
No?
he's an orchestrator. Oh, he's a composer, but he's also orchestrated in Hollywood. So he orchestrates a lot for Michael Giacchino. Anyway, great composer. Has released 2 albums, and his 3rd one's coming out. If you love the style of music that John Williams writes, like for his concert work or like his Olympic work, like if you listen to Silver Fanfare or Celebration Overture, you'd swear that John Williams wrote those pieces. So outstanding composer. So there's 2 albums. It's like the music of Peter Boyer and something very similar. One's on Naxos and the other one's with the London Symphony Orchestra. Great stuff. Like his first symphony's on there and a whole bunch of other pieces. But anyway, he's releasing a new album that he recorded for Naxos with the London Symphony. And there's a trailer here on his Facebook page. And I am so interested to hear this album. And he got Simon Rhodes to record it. Yeah, and then if you go onto YouTube, he has a like a demo disc, and God, this guy should be scoring pictures. listen to like a track. It's 90 seconds long called 7 for Action. It's ridiculous. See if I can get you a playlist. I'll put it in our chat. Yeah, here.
Oh, there's stuff on Apple Music here. There's the music of Peter Boyle with the London Symphony Orchestra, Ellis Island, other things.
Yeah, the Ellis Island stuff's really good. But let's see, what's this link gonna take me? Shoot. Hold on. Hollywood
You know,
Session.
I've actually got some of Peter Boyer's stuff downloaded. So you must have mentioned it at some point.
Okay.
On Facebook.
Yeah. He's awesome. Like Silver Fanfare and Celebration Overture is ridiculously good. But he's got a new album coming out, and I'm really excited because his albums are amazing. They're just, it's one great piece after another. I got to figure out how to save. How do I share? Oh, here, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try to send this to you, Daniel. Okay. This is a playlist called Hollywood Studio Symphony and Choir Sessions. I'm going to put it in the private chat, and if you can share it with the YouTube crowd. This is a Peter Boyer link if nobody's familiar with his stuff, but man, guy is so good. Another guy, like I did a whole show on 5 awesome composers that really should be scoring Hollywood films. I'm plugging my podcast, but seriously, if you want to hear 5 awesome composers do their stuff, or I'll just tell you the names. I featured Peter. Kevin Kask is another one. Are any of you familiar with Mike Verta?
No.
So if you go to YouTube, one piece I want you to check out, it's called The Race. Thousands and thousands and thousands of notes were written for like this 6-minute piece. And it's like, I mean, it reminds me of a horse race, but it I don't know what the race is for, but he also wrote music for the Batman Simulator ride. I think it's at Universal. And it sounds like it sounds like what if John Williams took Danny Elfman's material from the original Batman and John Williamsified it. It's really neat. He's like a special effects guy. I think he's working on his own version of like the despecialized version of Star Wars. Totally into that sort of stuff, but I don't think he composes much anymore, but super, super, super talented. And his webpage used to be full of like examples of the stuff that he was writing. Like there was a wonderful piece that he wrote from 2001 called the Warner Brothers Show West presentation. And it's got quotes of Superman and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in it as well, but it's just lovely, lovely orchestral music. So that's Mike Verta. I don't know if his website's still active. Oh yeah, it is.
How do you spell Verta?
Verta.
Oh.
But his website's so bare bones now. Like he gives these master classes in composing. But most of the stuff that used to be on his site, I don't think it's there anymore. Another guy who unfortunately I've lost contact with. We used to chat all the time on Facebook and used to send me a ton of stuff. And Andrew Pierce. Are you guys familiar with him?
No.
His career never really took off, which is sad, even though, I mean, we're talking about like precious albums. I think one of my favorite, if not my favorite instrumental album of all time is his Cinema Symphony. And that came out on Movie Score Media. He recorded with the Royal Scottish National Orchestra and Jose Cerebrier, I think is the conductor's name. And basically the piece is a love letter cinema, but a love letter to the music of Jerry Goldsmith and John Williams. So it's a symphony, but it's like a film music symphony. It is absolutely incredible. and it's Movie Score Media. Sure, you can find that album for like dirt cheap, but I highly recommend picking it up. That album has 2 other pieces on it, and I want to get it right. So they're these smaller little, I'm not going to call them tone poems. I don't call them small concert works. And what the hell are they? It's like Celtic Overture. Yeah, oh, no, sorry. Elegy for Violin and Orchestra. It's 10 minutes long, achingly beautiful. And then he ends it with the Prelude for Orchestra called Celtic Warrior. I'm going to put the link in the private chat, Daniel, and if you want to share that with YouTube and the rest of the streams. Like, I highly recommend you guys all pick it up. It was released back in 2008. It's extraordinary. So he went on and wrote some, like a logo theme for Cine Dimanche, and it's kind of like a Christmas themed logo music. He also wrote a piece called the Maestro. I think it's called the Maestro. And he had Philip Cobb, who's a London Symphony trumpet player, do all the solos. And it's 15 minutes long. And I'm not really too keen on like a solo trumpet concert work, but it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so Philip Cobb released his own album, and he opened up the album. It's called Songs from the Heart, and he opened it up with Pierce's piece, and it's so lovely. But yeah, he Pierce just never really went anywhere, and he was doing some orchestration work for, I think, Federico Ucci, I think, but I've lost in touch with him over the past couple of years. Really nice guy. Like, he would, it was my birthday, he'd send me a message, or he would just like, text me just to see how I was doing. But so anyway, very talented composer.
Talking of movie score media, I'm probably going to butcher his name. Mikael Carlson.
Yep.
Yeah, he's constantly putting stuff on Facebook. New scores that come out, and there's some wonderful stuff that he's highlighting. And people are always saying that there's no orchestral, there's no melody, there's all this kind of stuff. And I think, just look at the stuff that he's putting your way. It's all out there. You just need to listen to it.
I agree.
I mean,
every year he seems to release a new Christopher Wong score, and it's always beautiful. Always. Yeah. I don't know how he stays in business or how he stays afloat, because I'm sure he's not selling a lot. They're very, very limited runs of albums, but I can't see him selling a lot of units because they're just so obscure, right? I mean, great composers. Yeah. I mean, good for him. He's a film music hero. I mean, you look at the early part of his career releasing albums. I mean, he had Daniel Pemberton and Benjamin Wallfish before they were famous. He was releasing their stuff. There's a couple of others as well. But yeah, those are the two like main ones where you can still go back into his catalog and find early scores by Pemberton and Wallfish. I mean, I don't think he released Summer in February, but there's a couple of other gems that he released. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, he released some Polydorus albums. He released Kamen's last score, which was like a patchwork of a dozen other composers for, I was thinking, Back to Gaia, I think was the name of that score. Like featured composers. Who does he have here? Panu Altio. I mean, God, talk about a discovery. His work is unbelievable. If you don't own any Panu Altio, especially the this documentary trilogy that he worked on, the Tale of series, those are 3 albums should be in everybody's collection. So there's Tale of a Sleeping Giants, Tale of a Forest, and Tale of a Lake. That stuff will just wreck you. 95 is a real good one. It's a hockey film. Anne Catherine Dern. Who else? I mean, he does Frank Elfman albums. Johann Soderquist. Got Christopher Wong. He's got 10 albums of his stuff, and none of them suck. But holy smokes! I mean, that just. Oh yeah, like I wish I knew how to pronounce this guy's name. Erwin Comorvant. Journey to Space, I think he wrote, was just fantastic. Yeah, Benjamin Wallfish, Dear Wendy, get that one. Oh, Pinar Toprak, he released a whole bunch of her early stuff too.
Really?
Yeah. There's a one that's with butterflies, something with butterflies. Oh my god. The Home of Dark Butter. No, that's Panualtio. Maybe I'm wrong on butterflies. What the hell's the one with Toprak? Shows you how much I know. Okay. Oh, the Light Keepers. That's really close to butterflies. Yeah. The Light Keepers, I highly recommend. Yeah, like Daniel Pemberton's Heroes and Villains, Attila the Hun, and Napoleon. He released a bunch of Scott Glasgow albums. Oh my goodness. Have you guys heard The Red Canvas by James Peterson? That's another guy that just his career went nowhere, which is really too bad. Super talented composer. In My Sleep by Conrad Pope. Excellent. Did a bunch of Fernando Velasquez albums. Arnaud Beltier. Stuff is outstanding. Great horror music.
The back catalogue on Movie Score Media is absolutely immense.
Isn't it insane?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to find the highlights here, and there's so many. Like George Callis releases his stuff. The crying out loud! What's the unicorn one he did? It was a beautiful score.
Did it have anything to do with butterflies?
Yeah, it was the Butterfly Unicorn. George Callis. How come I can't find his stuff? Here he is. It wasn't even a unicorn. It's Albion, the Enchanted Stallion.
Like a unicorn.
Yeah, it's a great score. 93 Days is another great score by him. Man. Oh, crying out loud. One of my favorite scores of the last 12 years. Victor Reyes's Grand Piano. Anybody familiar with that film?
No.
Okay. Not only is it brilliant music, it's quite unique. So Victor Reyes, so in the movie, there's a pianist. He hasn't performed for about 5 years. Something had happened to him, stage fright or whatever, and he was trying to perform like one of the most difficult pieces of music ever, and he just couldn't do it. So it scared him off the stage for 5 years. Anyway, he was making his return, and so he gets up on stage, starts playing music, and on his sheet music, if I can remember, someone says that, you know, if you stop playing, you are going to die. So someone's got like anyway, it's a mystery as to what's happening. So he has to play this piece of music. I think it's called the Cinquette, and if he has to play it flawlessly, or else his family dies.
No pressure.
So the thing, yeah. And it's dude who plays Frodo. He's the guy in it.
Elijah Wood.
So he had to learn how to play the piece, convincingly enough that, you know, it didn't look like he had a stunt double doing it. And so Victor Reyes essentially had to write a massive concert piece that doubles as the film's score, which is absolutely incredible. So whenever like stuff happens to him, that piece of music will like ramp up the tension and the drama. But the synchet, if you listen to it, I think it's supposed to be played with like 4 hands. So it's like 2 performers. The music is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, and it for a gimmick, the movie works, the score works, everything works flawlessly, and it's just a beautiful album. So if you don't have grand piano, pick it up. It's fantastic. What other money can I steal from you guys? So many. Like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn by Robert Guglia is very good. Like, you're right. Like, how many albums has he released? Yeah. Oh, Cairo Declaration, Chad Cannon. Excellent score. Annabelle Hooper and the Ghosts of Nan. No, that's something else. Super Furball sounds funny, but it's Pen Altio score. It's really fun and whimsical. Yeah, there's so many. There was one, it was like Journey to Space. Journey to Space? It was Unicorn in Space.
Journey to Butterfly.
Yeah. I can't recall the name of this. Oh, here it is. Ticket to Space. Excellent. It's like
what's it called?
It's a Ticket to Space.
Ticket to Space.
Erwin Kermovant. Kermov. Sorry, scratch that. Kermorvant. It's okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Listen to that one a lot, actually. But there's so many great releases. Like especially the early stuff that he released. Like The Escapist by Benjamin Wallfish is solid. He released a couple of Nicholas Dodd albums as well, which are fascinating. To hear a Dodd album without like David Arnold is to see whether the styles are similar. So there's Treasured Island. I think that's the only one. I thought I did a couple.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see how much of David Arnold is Nicholas Dodd.
Thematically, he's not there. I think stylistically it's somewhat similar, but melodically, I don't think it comes even close. But it's interesting. Yeah, it's called Treasured Island. Oh, okay. Really, a real fun one is called Rex Steel, Nazi Smasher, and Other Short Film Scores by Ryan Shore. It's super fun. Like, I mean, really, really fun. I mean, there's a cue that has like hints of the Rocketeer in it. But it's all these short scores. And Nazi Smasher, Rex Steel is a lot of fun. And there's like a whole pile of scores on this. But go listen to Rex Steel before you buy it. But you'll have some fun with that one. But yeah, I mean, how many albums does he have? In total, he's released 2,000. No.
That can't be right.
That's
okay, so the titles begin with MMD 0001. The last, well, in terms of MMS, is MMS 22031. I don't know. Where does he? Oh, okay. That's so weird. Oh, okay. He does it by year. All right.
All right.
So he'll go like 0, and then he makes it up to like 33 in year 1, then starts over again with a different number. But still, there's a ton of albums. And he partnered with Kronos Records to release a whole pile of like horror stuff, Screamworks Records. There's tons of horror music there. Jeez, this guy just doesn't stop. Wow. Pretty impressive. Yeah. What else do you want to talk about? Or are we done?
What, Daniel, what are you looking at there?
I was looking at that Cinema Symphony CD on eBay. There's 2 copies available.
All right.
Is it no longer available on
pull the trigger, yeah. Is anyone getting the Alan Silvestri's Cat Eye this week from Entrada?
I was never that much of a fan of the Cat's Eye score.
I listened to it. I didn't know anything about it. It turns out it's a Stephen King movie, which is probably why I didn't know anything about it. And I listened to the score a bit on YouTube. I got like a minute, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't need to buy this, and I moved on to something else.
Oh yeah, it's like completely electronic.
If I remember rightly, it's 3 different stories.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I am getting Star Trek 3 though.
Are you? Do you have the FSM version?
No.
Okay. Because there's no need to pick up the Entrada if you have the FSM version. It's the same mix. It's the same presentation. So if you didn't get it through FSM, then good. Pick it up through Entrada. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the original release that came out.
Yeah. So. It's all the same contents.
Like almost.
But I think I'm wondering this. I think this might be MAF release through Entrada, which means it'll always be in print, which is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cinema Symphony, like $9 on Discogs.
Yeah, I think it was 8 on eBay.
Well, I mean, I highly recommend maybe listening to it beforehand, so it's on Spotify or Apple Music. But I mean, I would say you wouldn't be disappointed. It's like I said, from start to finish, it's outstanding. It really is, and it doesn't feel like a classical symphony. It's very much film music, or at least written that way, if that makes any sense. And very, very Goldsmithian with Williams flourishes. It's a lot of fun.
What more can you ask?
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like a composer just ripping off those styles. Very much influenced by them, but taking them in different directions. Yeah. Super talented guy. And like, I mean, this whole, like there's a 21-minute segment at the end of the symphony, which is just, oh my God, you never want it to end. But
Michael, what do you think about the new Star Trek music that's coming out for the new shows? I'd like to hear your opinion on those, because I haven't seen them. I'm not educated enough to discuss them. I know Eric is fond of the Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, very much so. She's doing great work. Oh, and Michael, I did get your notifications on the Discord, and I'll respond after we're done here.
And how's the music for Kenobi coming along?
Do you want to go down this road?
Sure. Yeah.
If you can talk about it without giving spoilers, I'm waiting till it's all out before I watch it.
Okay.
So
then I will not say anything.
Okay.
I don't think we should. Yeah. I will not say anything until you've caught up with us.
Okay.
It's not fair. So, but okay, I will give an opinion though that I don't like Holt's material at all, with the exception of one cue in episode. It was either, I think it was 1, and all of the William Ross adapted stuff and additional music is pretty solid. And the new theme is outstanding. So that's my non-spoiler opinion.
But before
Ross
we
should have
stray too
scored.
far from Star Wars,
Hmm.
let me just show you this.
Oh my lord!
How big is it?
It's about 1 meter long when it's. I'm not sure if I'm
No
framing that
kid, really?
right. When it's fully built, yeah.
Wow, that's
But I'm going to build that in the next couple of weeks. It takes about 30 hours to build, so
Wow, that's enormous.
I know it's
How many pieces are on it?
7,500.
Jeez. Holy cow! Where are you going to put it when you're done?
Oh well, I'm moving things around because it's.
so it's
it
about
takes
like
up
like that long.
Yeah, that's the problem, and
absurd.
because it's kind of a round thing, it's wide as well. So
Are you going to glue the pieces together?
no, I've already had it built once about 2 years ago, and I took it down because of space reasons. But
Wow.
I need to build it again. So I will document it on YouTube when I build it
You
again.
should.
Yeah,
You
please.
I was
Like,
I was
yeah.
listening after that AT-AT they dropped a little while back.
Yeah,
You should run
What
a
was it,
time
like
lapse.
3 feet?
You have
3
a
feet tall
time
or
lapse on
something
your
like that?
phone,
yeah,
Ian?
yeah. I'll do that.
I would just set it like once you start
It'll
building,
be a
just set
series
it
of
up.
time lapse. I'm not going to sit there for 30 hours and build it.
Well, no. As for like from start to finish to every build that you're doing, I would do a time lapse of all of them and then just smash them together and edit and show it.
Yeah. I'll do
That
that.
would be
So
fantastic. Oh, Retro Reels was thinking the same thing. Then, then
see, I was texting him the other week, and he mentioned this as well, and I said I'm not going to destroy it because I think I told him that it would just end up being a big box of grey Lego rather than the Millennium Falcon. So yeah, I will build it, but I'm not going to destroy it.
wow.
All right, Neil.
I would not destroy it.
No.
Sorry, I was thinking of something, and now I just lost my train of thought. What the hell? Oh, we're just completely different topic, sort of. But is there anything going on? Did we decide Wednesday was going to be something on
RoboCop.
Yeah, you know what? I got sucked into this thing with another podcast, and I totally forgot I was doing this because he planned it like so many months ago. By the way, can do RoboCop.
We can bump
Just
it
do
till
it. Don't
later.
wait for me. Don't wait for me. As long as you're not doing Showgirls, that's fine. But I'm stuck onto this movie trivia podcast. So he's taking all of his guests that've been on the show and doing this massive movie trivia thing. I'm not even prepared for it. But it happens at 8:00 on Wednesday. So I apologize. So do RoboCop, please. I don't want to be the ones that stop you guys from doing this stuff. I will gladly watch afterward, and I've seen RoboCop a million times. I will watch your reaction to everything that happens. But please, for the love of God, watch RoboCop. And hopefully I'll be back the weekend or the week after that, because that'll probably be my last week. Unless I can hook up a solid internet connection in Newfoundland. So, but yeah, I got stuck. Sorry. I got stuck doing this.
I totally
trivia
understand.
thing. Yeah. But I want you guys to do it. Continue. I will watch it afterwards and laugh. All right. So, yeah. Please do RoboCop.
Okay. Have y'all seen the City of Prague Indiana Jones LP they got coming out?
Yeah. It's lousy.
It's
a
lousy.
lousy album. Yeah. Is
that
no
that one they did years ago? Yeah.
And I think this record label, I think they look shady to me for some reason. I've heard other people that's dealt with them, and it's like, one, I had to correct, and I'm a terrible speller. Grammar is my enemy, but I had to correct a ton of spelling mistakes on that one, and then their James Horner one that's coming out. It was so poorly put together. But the Indiana Jones album is not very good
Okay.
at all. Yeah, I wouldn't even.
All right.
There's no point really to it.
I've burned it from my mind.
Yeah, neither is the Horner one. There's really no point. Yeah. But I honestly think they're shady. They seem shady to me. But yeah, I think that's it for me, guys.
I understand it's getting late. I gotta get to work myself, and I know Ian's like 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. But that was a fun chat, and yeah, enjoy Wednesday, and I will tune in after you guys are done. And I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be kicked out of this game show like within 5 minutes, and then I can jump on.
That's fine. I'll shoot you the link.
Mean, the thing is, it's a weird game show because all the questions are geared towards the topics of for the shows that I was on. So I was on talking about Terminator 2, Star Wars music, and Lord of the Rings music. So that's what they say the questions are all going to be based on. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know. This just seems like a hot mess, but maybe it'll be amazing. We'll see.
It'll be amazing.
Yeah. Are we?
You guys will be able. You'll be able to hear it or at least see it. I think maybe they're live streaming it. I don't know, but you'll be able to catch it at some point. And maybe I'll make a total fool of myself because they'll ask easy Star Wars music questions and I'll get them wrong. So yeah, you guys will laugh at me. Anyway, have a good day, guys. This was fun.
Are we good for next Monday or?
Should be, as far as I know. Yeah.
Ian? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get that scheduled.
Cool.
Ian, you got anything coming up on your channel?
Well, I mentioned last week that I was going to be doing a Westerns and War Things. Well, I've stacked all my Western CDs up, so I'll be doing that next couple of days.
Looks like a top 5 list to me.
Oh yeah, that's a Birdman top 5.
Yes.
So yeah, that'll be coming in the next couple of days.
Okay. Well, I got RoboCop on Wednesday. I'm expecting like 5 packages any moment from the post office, hopefully. So we'll see y'all Wednesday night with Retro Reels and H Boomer and myself and maybe Eric Woods. Space Camp will be coming in the mail. I love me some Space Camp, and it's right down the road from me too.
Just stick a stamp on it; it'll be fine.
Yeah, just like this, right?
Yeah,
fold it in half, and
less postage if you fold it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think that works, but adopt, don't shop, keep listening to great film music, and we'll see all y'all later.